Hey everybody, it's the rundown with the series recap. We didn't do a show the past couple days, but we are recapping the series Mariners against the Reds. I'm Joe, this is Felipe. It is Wednesday, the 6th, and the Mariners just lost another series, and this time against the Reds. They won the last game, lost the first two games, and actually heartbreaker fashion. They almost pulled out a comeback in the first game. They ended up losing 6-3. Let's look at the stats there for that one. To begin, J.P. Crawford, super solid, went 1 for 4. Julio, another home run, and he is the first 25-25 player in MLB history, 25 home runs and 25 stolen bases in each of his first two seasons in MLB history.
That Pretty cool. Good stuff.
Yeah.
A lot more to come.
So. Oh yeah. Yeah, how can you not be excited about that guy? Cal did not start the game. He went 2 for 2,
which I know a lot of people have been talking, which I also agree with. Why he's not in the lineup, and I know you want to give him a day off of catching, but I don't understand why you still don't take him in at DH.
Well, you don't stick him in a DH because the guy Mike Ford went 2 for 4 with a home run.
Okay, fine. But sometimes I guess fine if you have Mike Ford's have a hot bat right now, so I'll give you that. But at the same, Cal comes in and goes 2 for 2.
Yeah. I think you're really
a little bit, a little too late, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think you do give Cal some at bats at DH. You got to put in the way Ty France has been playing. You got to put in Mike Ford in at first base. I know his defense is not as good as Ty's is, but his bat right now is heating up and has been really helpful to the team. I think you got to give him some time at first base. If we look at the pitching, Brian Wu not sharp today, no strikeouts.
Or on Monday.
Monday, sorry, yeah. No strikeouts, 3 walks, 5 earned runs. He did get 5 innings pitched though, so that was good.
Yeah, kind of grounded out those 5 innings, but not sharp. He was pretty tattooed from the get-go.
Yeah, and if you look at his velocity, his stats, they were actually about 2 miles per hour slower than they usually are. And then in the post game, he talked about this being the most innings pitched he's ever pitched in a season, and how the fatigue is starting to catch up to him, and so he's trying to really adjust his approach to get to the end of the season. And right now, we really need all of our pitchers in the line. We can't afford to lose another pitcher.
And that is going to be super, super interesting on what they do, because I'm on both, right? I understand needing to have him because we need him.
Yeah.
But what's more important as an individual player
and
an organization taking care of their players,
Yeah.
right? Do you care about let's try to get so we can win now, or let's take care of his health so that we can have him for for longevity, right? So that'll be interesting, and I hope I am a big fan of longevity over right now. We've seen so many times in all over sports, not just baseball, where you get so stuck in the win now, and then you don't care about a player's health, and then you really end up ruining their career, right? Big name starts with, to me, RG3. Yeah, that's a big example. The biggest example that always pops in my mind. And I'm a big fan. Like, I wouldn't, if the fatigue continues, I would not be afraid to shut him down. Yeah. And is that going to hurt us? Yes, 100%. But that's what it is, right? You don't have Marco. You don't have
Robbie Ray.
You don't have Emerson Hancock in your back pocket anymore. And he would have been shut down anyways as well.
Yeah.
Brian Wu. If Marco and Gilbert, or not Gilbert, Ray don't go down, do we even see Brian Wu this year?
Yeah, probably not.
So I would shut him down.
Yeah.
Maybe if this trend continues in his next start, 2-start, I would be no, that's enough.
Yeah.
Is it gonna hurt us our chances? Yes, but you know what? I would rather have him see a healthy next year, 5 years, 7 years, whatever his tenure is gonna be with the Mariners. I would rather see that than try to push it, and then we only get 2-3 average years, because his arm gets damaged.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. There is one name who I don't know why we haven't seen him at the big league club, Tommy Malone.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Tommy.
Yeah,
Malone.
he had, he's
a grinder.
He is a grinder. He'll give you innings, and he had 2 good starts this year.
He's not a flashy guy.
No.
He's not going to pump 99.
No.
He's not going to strike out 9, 10 guys. But he's kind of like Marco in a way where he grinds out. He'll give you 5 or 6, and he'll give up 3 runs here and there. But you know what? That's not bad. If he's going to eat up innings and save your a day of a huge bullpen day, right?
Yeah, so that's why I don't know. I don't really know what they're doing with him. I think the way our pitching staff has been performing, our bullpen is really getting used up, and having a guy like Tommy Malone who can go 2 innings in consecutive days would really help. So I don't know why they haven't brought him up. They brought up Dominic Leone. I don't know.
Claimed him off waivers.
Right. He started his career with Seattle. It was pretty good, but then he's bounced around the league a little bit. I don't really know what they're doing with him either. And Luke Weaver, as we can see, 2.1 innings pitched, 1 earned run that day. Not too bad, but he really got tattooed in that start against the Royals of all teams.
Yeah.
So I really think Tommy Malone really deserves to at least get a call up because they have the roster space now, and really I think he would help the staff a lot.
Yeah, and we'll go to that. We'll touch back on that point in a little bit. Let's go to the next game.
Yeah.
Mariners had a 6-3 lead in the 8th.
Yeah.
And I think this game was the most frustrating in the series.
Yeah.
And on the road trip so far. This is a game, especially as a contender, the Mariners who are trying not only for the wild card or going for the division, right?
Yeah.
They're right there. This is a frustrating game because this is a game that you had in hand and you just let get away. 6-3 into the 8th, 3-run home run from Cincinnati in the 8th, and then Munoz blows it in the 9th.
As you can see right here.
Yep. This one was frustrating and hard to watch. It was a hard one to swallow because that's a win that you should have.
Yeah.
And especially at this point, not talking about today's results, but at that point, the Blue Jays still hadn't lost. They were on a tear. Houston's tearing up Texas. It's not a good time to lose. And because Houston was tearing up Texas, us winning separates us from Texas a lot more, right? But because we've been losing and Texas still isn't really that far behind from us, so this was a tough one. Again, Dominic Leone struggled 2 runs. Topa gave up the 3 runs, and then Munoz again. Like you touched before, the bullpen is starting to show wear.
Yeah.
And we can bring back this point too, but we'll see how this. And we touched back on it a couple episodes ago. Where is this Seawald trade gonna hurt us?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say this is it because we don't know yet. We still have 2.5, 3 weeks to go, but we might go back to this road trip and say this. If we miss, right here.
I really don't think you could quantify how valuable having that veteran guy out there. Just being so solid and a guy you can really count on every single time you have a couple run lead. Like Justin Topa was doing really well this year. Spire, all these guys have been doing well, but it seems like now recently, in a lot of places, they've been giving up runs in really clutch situations. So I don't know. Again. This is tough because you see Rojas right here 2 for 3 this game, right? Like they contributed so much, but do we get like it without Rojas, without Canzone, are we going into the 9th with a 4-2 lead and then Seawald comes out? A 3-2 lead and then Seawald comes out. Like, it's tough. It really is tough.
And we can talk, and I think we'll come back to this because let's finish up the series and then we'll come back to what our opinions are, especially moving forward. Mariners today, September 6th, do get the win. So that was nice that they salvaged 1 win. Fine. We don't get swept. So I think it's a bitter taste, right? But we at least get one win.
Yeah.
They dominated from the start of this game, so that was nice to see. The offense was all there. Home runs from your guy Ford. JP also had a 3-run home run.
Cal went 3 for 4.
Yeah, Cal went 3 for 4. Also another home run. Ty had 2 RBIs.
Yeah.
The offense was kind of clicking today, so that was really good to see. Gilbert went 5 1/3, 9 Ks.
Yeah.
He dominated. Munoz came in. Also, I always highlight Munoz because he gave up another run.
Yeah.
Right? It was not a clean outing for him. Yeah, we were up 8-3, so it's a lot of breathing room.
This is what I don't understand, right? We have our 4 best relievers: Brash, Spire, Topa, Munoz. Right? We're up 8-3 at that point when Gilbert comes out. I understand the other guys haven't been pitching very well, but you got Thornton, right? Who's been okay, and he didn't pitch yesterday. He didn't pitch the day before. Saucedo, who's also been performing well, did not pitch yesterday. Why are we throwing out our setup guys and our closer, de facto closer? I know they don't like using the term closer when we're up by 5 runs.
And here and now thinking about this, I think you have the fear of what happened the day before. So, okay, we've got to shut this down right here.
Yeah.
But here, leading into the next series, which is Tampa, right? 4 games with Tampa.
Yeah.
Starting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that. Is now that you've used these guys multiple days in a row, you might be able to throw out Munoz and Brash and Spire maybe tomorrow, right?
Right.
But now you've used them 3 days in a row,
right?
Exactly. Somewhere in this next series against Tampa, we will struggle because we will have tired arms.
Yes.
Right. We won't be able to use Brash. We won't be able to use so and so, and then we're gonna have to use these guys. So to your point, right? Why don't you throw out these guys that haven't pitched in a while to give these guys a rest, because you do know that you have an even tougher opponent coming up next.
Yeah, no, exactly. Those two guys that I mentioned, Thornton and Saucedo, have been pretty darn reliable, right? They're not any worse. I wouldn't say they're any worse than Justin Topa or Spire. I would rather have Munoz out there with the 2-run lead than those guys. But if we are ahead by 1 or 2 runs tomorrow, Munoz pitched today. He pitched yesterday.
And then the day before, on Monday, was Saucedo and
Weaver. Right. But I believe Munoz might have pitched the last game of the Mets series.
Yeah, something like that. And you typically get, typically somebody gets Thursday off. You don't get Thursday off. You play right tomorrow.
Right.
So if you come in a situation, you might throw in Munoz.
Yeah, and so you
don't know what you're going to get. Right?
3 out of the last 4 days. He's got to be tired.
Yeah.
And he had an injury earlier this year, too. Right.
So now, we've kind of wrapped up the Red Series. We're 2-4 on the road trip so far. Not great.
No.
By any means. Going into Tampa, I want to bring up some of the concerns that I have mentioned in these past videos, and I've mentioned all season. Going down the stretch here, my concerns. This lineup, first of all, first and foremost. Okay, on paper it's not good.
Yeah,
like to me, it doesn't give me a contending lineup. It doesn't, right? You look at all the great teams that have made the playoffs, make big runs in the playoffs. You look at the lineups and you're like, okay, yeah, at least 2/3 of this is tough.
Yeah.
You look at this lineup and it's not that tough. They've been able to produce because our pitching has been there and we have clutch hitters and their chemistry is there. But now you get into a stretch now where we're facing tougher teams and you're seeing that come to light where this is where we struggle.
Yeah.
I've been saying that. I said that when we did the power rankings. Why did I knock the Mariners down?
Yeah.
Because their offense was performing against underperforming teams. Now we're playing against teams that are in contention for the playoffs, and we see the result.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous about this Tampa series.
Yeah.
I'm glad on a positive note that we did get a win from Cincinnati, because we talked last night. I said we get swept by Cincinnati. I don't see. How did I phrase it? I said that I don't think it's out of the possibility, because we would have lost 4 in a row then, right? I don't see in the possibility we go on an 8-game losing streak and get swept by Tampa.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm glad we got that one. But man, this team, and then to bring back to what I said before, I said let's put a note and let's talk about it again. Dominic Leone, we brought him off waivers, veteran guy. We also talked about this the other day. I don't understand why sometimes what is the point of not bringing up a reliever from AAA?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What is the difference?
Yeah.
You have a guy that you've had in the past. He's had a couple successful years here and there as he's bounced around the league, right? Yeah. But there's a reason nobody else picked him up. There's a reason this guy has been out of a job most of the time.
Right.
Right? He's past his prime. He's done, right?
Yeah.
He's done. Why wouldn't you go at... What is the harm in trying to test out an arm in AAA that you don't know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If he fails, then he fails. Like, it's the same thing as Dominic Leone. Like, there's no other... Like, I don't understand. I don't understand that logic sometimes. Right. Like, why would you go get this veteran guy that nobody wants? There's a reason nobody wants him. When you have a bunch of guys in the minor leagues dying for a chance to prove you wrong. Yeah. You waste nothing. Yeah. Right? Absolutely. I don't know. And I've always scratched my head at that. And if you do end up, which I think the Mariners probably end up letting go of Leon. You have Diego Castillo. Like, why not?
We got Diego Castillo
and I think Barroa is in there too, the young guy.
Yeah, Prelander Barroa was down. I mean,
and Tommy Malone. Like, I don't understand why you don't. You know, what is the harm? What do you lose?
Juan Fen.
Yeah. Like, what do you lose? Right. Yeah. I don't get it.
And then we also saw Darren McCoggan at one point. Yeah, they're not. I mean, you know.
I really don't think there's that big of a difference between Dominic Leone and these guys. Yeah. Like, you know, like, I don't know. Like, it's a head scratcher for me. But going into the Tampa series, it's tough. It's tough.
I mean, sometimes the management of this team really baffles me. And as we look at the playoff odds, in the beginning of the series, the Mariners were at 98% make playoffs. They lost 15% after losing the series, and they were basically at 50-50 with the Astros as far as clinching the AL West was. So they really, really lost. I know it looks like we're one game back, but we really lost a lot more than that, because now look at our strength of schedule. It's up to 5-2-2. We only have one more or two more series against losing teams.
Yep, Angels and Athletics.
And the Athletics. But the Angels really are a good team. They're like the Mets. They're like the Padres. Yeah. They could really pull out, some wins. And the
Athletics,
A's,
they at this point in the season, they just want to play spoiler.
Yeah.
Right? So
it like, they're gonna win. They're probably gonna win 50 games, right? And then they're one of the worst teams in history. Even the worst team wins, the third of their games, right?
Most of the time.
Yeah, right. Right. And so, we go in there, we can't, we want to sweep the A's, but the way we're playing, can we expect to sweep the A's? No, I don't think so. We get 2 wins. Yeah, fine. But, like, if we're playing like this, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really hard.
And that's exactly the reason I haven't gotten, I'm excited. Yeah. I love the Mariners. I do. But I think I've just always been very nervous because I look at the schedule, I look at how we've been performing, which has been great. Great August. That was incredible, right? 21 wins in August, most in franchise history. You can't mark that down, right? You're still beating teams. Yeah. But then you look at who you've been beating, and then you look at who you got next, and everybody's like, oh, look at the Mariners, look at the Mariners. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's great. Can they do this against contending teams? Yeah. And so far, no. Yeah. In September, at least. Yeah. And this is when it matters. And not about how we can talk about August. It is how you finish. The Mariners are going to have to finish how they played, at least 50% of how they played in August. Yeah. They still can. I'm going to be optimistic. They still can. I believe they can. Yeah. But something's got to change here. Yeah.
Okay, so on the bright side, Fangraphs actually has, in the next series against Tampa Bay, the Mariners winning the first 2 games and then losing the last 2. But let's look at the matchups. We have Luis Castillo in the first game, Kirby in the second, Wu in the third, and then Miller in the fourth game. Miller had a really good outing last time up. We talked about Wu, but let's look at the Tampa Bay pitching staff. They start out with Zach Littell. He's got a 4.69 ERA. It's decent, not great. Only 63 innings pitched this year, as you could see. So, I can't really tell with these guys anymore because you have guys that have really bad ERAs, and then the Mariners just can't hit them. We have Taj Bradley in the second game, 5.42 ERA, 79 innings pitched. Aaron Civale, 2.76 ERA, 107 innings pitched. He's been doing good. And then Zach Eflin's been doing really good. So we got two guys, that we really should hit, and then two guys that are going to be tough. But who knows?
Yeah, and Tampa pitching wise is kind of matches us almost swing for swing mostly. The difference between Tampa and Seattle is that their lineup is way more potent than ours.
Yes.
Everyone in that lineup has the ability to take it out. Mm-hmm. Everyone in that lineup has the ability to score via not just the long ball, but for average. They're just a good overall team. Mm-hmm. So I think Castillo and Gilbert give us a good chance the first two games, and then we go back to those young guys again, Wu and Miller. Yeah. When does their fatigue start? Because Miller is also a first year, right? We have to remember that. Yeah. When does fatigue start affecting these guys? And there's so many things that. When does this happen? Is this going to happen? Yeah. That again scares me about the Mariners going forward into the last few weeks. Yeah. Because you do have a couple pitchers where you're gonna have to start thinking about their health wise and their innings pitched, and then how does this lineup fare again?
Yeah. And as we look at the lineup for the Rays, anyone pop out at you? We know that Wander Franco is not going to be.
Yeah, we won't be seeing him for a while. Which was for me. I wanted to see how Tampa responded to that in terms of that was their best offensive player. Yeah. Doesn't seem like they've lost a step without him, which is pretty incredible. And that speaks volumes on how good this team actually is. Where you're able to lose your best offensive player and you're still producing, it says a lot. Yeah. Paredes has been really, really good. Obviously, Yandy Diaz has been in the top of batting average in not only just the American League but in the league all season. Yeah. He was an all-star. Obviously, Aros Arena. He's been really, really good. I mean, I can keep going down the list. And one of the names for me that stands out is your
friend,
our buddy from Colombia, Harold Ramirez. Yeah, he's to me is such a unique player because if you break him down stat wise, if he played consistently, if he was a starter, which he's not, this guy's an all-star. Yeah, right. He's batting near what is he batting now? He's batting
301.
We're
right here, 301
last year. He's batting 301. Yeah. 46 runs, 53 RBIs. Yeah. He's still looking for that 10th home run. I know they mic'd him up a few weeks ago, and so he was joking about, I'm still looking for that 10. I'm still looking for that 10. But he has about half the plate appearances of some of these guys, especially around the league. Maybe a little bit more, a touch more. But if you give this guy a starting role on any team, and I think Tampa's so deep that they can afford that. But this guy starts on any other team, and he's an all-star if he starts. Like statistically, it shows.
Yeah. As you said, last year 120 games, 435 plate appearances. Yeah, not quite a full season, but he hit 300, 119 WRC plus. Really solid player.
268 in 2021 was not bad either.
Solid player, especially since he got to Tampa Bay. Yeah. So, do you have any predictions for this upcoming series?
And I think I touched on it with you last night. I think the Mariners drop 3 of 4.
Yeah.
I think they'll win one. And that's just the way baseball is. To sweep anybody is so difficult. No matter, again, you play the A's, they find a way to they squeak one out.
Yeah.
Right. I think they drop 3 or 4. I really think they do, which is unfortunate. And I don't like saying that, but I'm just, you know me as a baseball fan, I try to be as realistic as possible. I think Tampa's just that good.
Yeah.
I think Tampa's that good. And Mariners have struggled on this road trip in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see them kick it back into gear, but I don't expect them to until they play the A's next week starting on Monday.
Yeah, unfortunately, I would agree with you. I think we would be lucky to get two of 4 to just split. And I think,
that's not out of the that's not out of the possibility either.
Yeah, I think at our best, we could go 3, we could go 4. If we're good, we could go 2. If we're not, we could get swept easily. So it really depends on the pitching. Hopefully Castillo and Kirby really come back and bounce back from their subpar outings last time around, because we really need to start relying on those 2 guys. We talked about Castillo and Kirby being in that Cy Young Award conversation, and also to a lesser extent Gilbert as well. But those the pitching staff, we really need to rely on Castillo, Kirby, and Gilbert coming out and giving us 7 innings, 6 innings, and giving the bullpen a huge rest, especially as we see Miller and Wu hitting those innings limits. And we're really because they're really playing them with kid gloves, right? Handling them with kid gloves. And so we're not going to see Wu go for more than 5 innings, even if he is pitching well, right? So
and I don't necessarily think, talking about these games, if we do lose at least one of the first 2, I don't think that it's my prediction is I don't think it's Castillo or Kirby that loses this game. I actually think they keep us in this game as long as they go. I think it's either the bullpen that gives it up. Tampa Bay has been proven to be a great late inning team offensively. Yeah. And the way the bullpen has been pitching, I just wouldn't be surprised that we're tight in this game until our starter comes out, and then here comes Tampa.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Just quick breakdown before we wrap this up. Houston now in lead of the division by a game. We're right behind them. We've kind of flipped with them. The Rangers are now 3 back. They got swept by the Astros. Completely. Astros are back, ladies and gentlemen. They completely dismantled the Rangers. They look like the team that has gone to 6 straight ALCSs.
Yeah. And that really helps us more than anything. I think we already knew the Astros were really going to go full steam ahead for that AL West title. But sweeping the Rangers, while we were going, we went 5-5 in the last 10. We played horribly, and we still went 5-5 in the last 10. That's a bright spot. The Rangers still doing even worse than that, and so we're now 2 games ahead of the Rangers. So that helps. Yeah. I think that helps so much.
If we can stay above 2 games against the Rangers going into that final weekend where we play them 7 times, I think we're okay. Yeah. Anything closer, I think we're really at risk of flipping because, and I've been saying this, and I've been saying this, Toronto is right there. And they lost to the A's tonight. They took 2 out of 3 of the A's. Yeah. But they've been playing good ball.
Yes.
And they're built for a run at the end of September, and that is a team that's going to knock either the Mariners or the Rangers out.
And I think what we're going to see, I think the Rangers end up, this is my prediction for the end of the year, I think the Rangers end up missing the playoffs, and I think the Blue Jays actually end up getting the 5th seed, which works out well for the Mariners because that means we go up against the Twins, and in the second round, instead of going against the Astros, we go up against the Orioles. And I right now would rather go up against the Orioles in the second round than the Astros.
Yeah, I would agree. But we got to get there.
Yes, we got to get there. And so, again, going into the last 10 games, if we're 2 games ahead of the Rangers, we control our destiny. If we go 5-2 against them, 4-3 against them, even 3-4 if we're 2 games ahead of them, we're fine. We're okay. Yeah. But we need to get there first.
Yeah, we got to get there.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how this Tampa series kicks off, and hopefully good things happen. But we'll see. We'll see.
And thank you guys. I know we only get like 1 or 2 views per show on this, but we love doing this. We talk about this during the day in our free time anyways.
So why not share it with everybody?
Yeah. So thank you all for watching. Catch us again. I don't know if we're going to do a show tomorrow or the day after, but we'll try to keep doing those immaculate grids. We really like doing those.
Yeah,
so,
keep up with those because we're really bad at them.
Yeah, we are. We are. And I think those are the most entertaining videos. But once again, this is The Rundown. I'm Joe. This is Felipe. Thanks all for watching. See you next time.